actually. I'll just provide them the BRD for the learning purpose, and guys will make a notes and they will ask you. Okay.
Yeah. Hi everyone. Sorry for joining late again. Last minute the password expired, so I had to go in a loop to reset the password and enter login to Zoom. Help me understand. If I'm not wrong, you guys have received a BRD, and before this session, you guys have discussed amongst yourselves to come to a solution, right?
Yes, we were discussing.
Yeah. So this will be very interactive session. We will need to learn from each other here. Like I mentioned in my last session as well, right? There may not be just one way of writing a BRD, or not just one way of, it's not a formula-based thing. So I would definitely want to understand from each one of you, what is your thought process? How have you approached the problem statement? And for that, some of you can share your screen, and we will discuss as a team that this should have been we have excluded this part and should have been part of the BRD, or this was not needed, right? Or this point needs to be more stressed upon, kind of things, right? So who will go first? Who will first take a shot at explaining the problem statement to the group? Manisha, you want?
Hello, Animesh.
Yeah, Nida, please.
So we were given this case study, which is based on this app called, this is a hypothetical app called Pay Now, and it is a UPI based digital payment application. So, and this application is the strong funnel, top of the funnel engagement health indicators is strong app installs, healthy daily active users, and frequent repeat usage. And despite of having all these parameters, there is still unsuccessful UPI payment transactions. For that, my team, Harsh, Manisha, and Falguni also, we came to this conclusion. The problem is high customer dissatisfaction because of the increased number of queries and customer frustration. The problem can be also increased customer support volume, due to which we have to reduce the cost. Loss of user trust at a critical intent stage, like the last step checkout, because of there can be many reasons for the loss of user trust, because of the bank not working out, confusion between the bank and all, and gradual migration of users to competing UPI applications, which is because of the not unclear instructions of how to proceed in the UPI transaction.
Sure. So you guys have come up with a solution. Is the teams divided amongst you? Nida, I think you mentioned 4 or 5.
Yeah, we were a group of 4 people.
Sure. Then can one of you from your group can present whatever brainstorming you guys have done, and we will go through each section, and I'll give my feedback over there. How this could have been improved, or how this is great already. Let's do that.
Yeah, sure. Who would? Manisha, would you want to go through that? Or should I?
I think, Nida, it would be better that if you could share the screen, and then we all of us can, contribute to something which we have done. That would be a better approach, I guess.
Okay, sure. Wait a minute. I'll just create it. Sir, you have not disabled, you have not enabled the screen sharing.
Okay. Yeah, now you can, I guess.
Oh, wait a minute. Is my screen available? Can I?
Yeah, it's visible.
Is it visible?
Yeah.
Also the document?
Yes, the document as well.
Okay. Yeah, so this is the problem sheet and this is the document.
Yeah, jump to the solution part.
Okay, so the definition, this is the basic definition that we have come across. What constitutes the drop-off? Drop-off can be the factors like app crash, customer exiting app, incomplete steps abandoned, UI UX issues, and there was a table given to us. Which had stage-wise drop-offs and like stage-wise percentage. So we have like put the reasons why that drop-off happened.
Okay.
Yeah, and this is the failure. Failure ka there was not a single clarity, so we have come across 4. I mean, due to time constraints, we couldn't think of more. And this is the business goals and success metrics. One of my like team members, like Manisha, she came across this solution to this thing that instead of UPI, we can put in the payment using fingerprint, as you can see in the screenshot. So, like for the proof, we have added this.
It is a part of our scope, but yeah, we have added it here just for the example purpose.
Yeah. So this is the primary and the secondary metric, and this is the in scope and out of scope. Primary metric was payment success rate.
Okay.
Successful transaction by, and secondary metric is like reduction in drop-off rate, average daily payments.
Sure.
Payments. Payment failure rate, successful transactions in a single session.
Yeah. So last time we discussed about 8 pillars, right? There could be typically 8 sections, but as I keep on saying that it need not be 8. It could be 5 also. It could be 10.
Actually, we were given these parameters, as you can see in the like side. I have this.
Yeah, I went through it, and therefore I said, right, if someone else will come and tell you to write a BRD, they can have 5 pillars. Like I explained, I typically go in an 8 pillar kind of format, and it's not a formula driven, so everything is fine, right? Now we will pick up these elements, like what I'm seeing over here, Nita. Good job done in splitting off the information that is there, putting it in a very, readable format that stakeholders would like. How I would want to do it, this is more like, and how even the BRD as a question was drafted, right? It was more of a, it comes off as a question and answer kind of thing, that this is the question and then these are the set of answers. We'll put it more, brainstorm together to put it more into a professional setup. Okay, so now we will discuss from start, taking example of your case itself. But before I start, any other team who has taken a very different approach than what Nida is saying or depicting over here, so that when I will be solutioning, I will keep those things also in mind and try to address the larger group in one go. Anyone who has taken a very different drastic approach from what this group has done?
Should I stop staring, sir?
Yeah, you can, Nida. If anyone else wants to present, Nida, you turn off the sharing thing. Anyone else wants to present?
I don't think we have anything to present, but we made 2 assumptions. That the 2 assumptions were we were only focusing on the payments parts where it is considered with the online shopping, not sending it to an individual or the scan system that we take, and we are only targeting the new users. These are the different approach that we considered.
New users only, and
online shopping, like we are not considering sending payment or amount to an individual.
Sure, you have just put it in context of online shopping, right?
Correct.
Fair enough, just mentioning that point. Okay, interesting. If I may ask, why new users only, Rohan?
There was, I think we saw 13 points in the given data given. There was a 13.6% drop off when it was switched to a different bank account. So we assume a lot of users were not sure if they can add details there. I didn't jot it down, but we had assumed.
Can you just flash your screen and show me the section of data you're referring to so that I'm clear and we are on same page?
Okay. I think we had a different approach. I clearly forgot. I had to jot it down.
No worries. You can just talk about it. Don't feel pressurized of doing that.
No. I'm just telling you. Yeah. So we thought that when there is a redirect to the bank account, a lot of users might have to add their details into we were considering only for online shopping experience. So a lot of people might have to, apart from going from the payment page, they were launching into another bank page where they had to add details. we assume that while adding these details, a lot of new users might not feel the what do you say, security of adding their bank details into a new payment page. So that's why they were dropping off. That was the only assumption.
Sure, fair enough. Any other group has done something very differently?
I just want to ask a general question. Like in this problem or the whole case, there was not much clarity why this is happening or like actually what to do, because there is so many incomplete data. Then in the fourth column also failure system logs. So we were thinking like why this is happening. So I want to know that in order to create the BRD, should we need to know about all these things? I know that actual how we will do this will not be included in this, but still. The general how where we should do or what next steps to do. I guess this thing also we need to find out in this case.
Right, Prem. A very, very, very good question. And in fact, this is the reason why I told the coordinators to remove some of the details from the BRD. This was the exact reason. Like Prem, when you were thinking that hey, this data seems incomplete, there should have been more set of data to be included in BRD. That is where I want you guys to be working at that level, right? You guys need to understand, need to brainstorm, need to think that what are the next set of data that I would have, actually wanted over here. So while you guys were working in cohorts and in groups to write this, like Prem mentioned that, he felt a need of having more data to construct his BRD better. How many of you felt the same need? And can you guys be very specific in what kind of data you needed? And the reason why I told them to remove this is right because if all the data was present in a doc given to you, then probably you would have not pushed yourself to think we need this XYZ set of data or ABC set of data because all the data is there right in front of you. One of the key thing which do not reflect in document is how deep you can go into research to present and prove that this is the actual problem statement and a significant problem statement worth solving for the organization. And for that, you'll have to start from scratch. Like from the last session, Nida, if I quote your example, you mentioned that sometimes there are, we are left at point zero with not so much of, I think Nida, it was you only. If there are not so much of data, then you would want to learn how to start collecting those requirements, right? And this exercise typically points out to that. If the data is not there, and if say a leadership mentions that 35% drop off is there, which is not good for organization, where will you start? What details do you need? In fact, the one table that is given, I just left it over there. Wanted actually that to be removed as well, because then it would have taken you guys from zero level. Like this was at least level 1 onwards, right? Then how do you start when there is just one problem statement, a basic problem statement given? Right. So I wanted you guys to think out loud and do some data mining, gather the requirements of data you would need as business analysts, and then you will assign someone or yourself will hunt for those data, put it in a BRD. So any one of you who may want to quote specific examples of data that you guys thought is needed to complete this BRD. Prem, like starting from you itself, you felt the need that there should be more data. What kind of data you needed?
In the journal it says that UPI transactions are failing, but and then there is a table which defines that while entering the UPI pin, there is a 13.6% drop off, maximum drop off is happening at this stage. So one of the thing that we need to know that why at this stage drop offs are happening and what can be the reasons for that, and then accordingly we can try to find out the appropriate steps. Like in the Nida's case, also she mentioned some of the things like incorrect pin can be the reason. So maybe that we can ask from our team or some other department to get the data about the failed UPI entered transactions.
Perfect. Anyone else?
I think we need more data in context of business goals and success metrics to figure out what could be our exact success metrics. Because
I disagree. Because that is pretty much clear from the thing, and when we will discuss your case itself, Manisha, along with, I'll come to that. Slightly disagree, but we will discuss on this point more. But I think enough details are there. Anything else?
Yes. So from our team, when Rohan discussed about this point, where there were a lot of payment, we assumed that there would be a lot of payment drops when for the new customers when the new customers tries to enter their bank details. That's where the payment is being unsuccessful and they are dropping out. So that is what our assumption. So in order to validate that assumption, so we wanted a data. So which type of users are dropping out, whether a new user or active users in
Perfect
that
example.
particular
We
stage.
could have divided it basis customer cohort. I have, in fact, after Rohan mentioned, I have put it as a note in my flow as well. That could be a very good data point to see that all of this churn is happening from a new customer, from an old customer, right? Only the cash on delivery customers or prepaid customers as well, right? We could also see the demographic of customers, like is this drop off happening only from student cohort, or this is also from working cohort as well, or this is only happening from women customers, or this is happening from male customers as well. So all these kind of demographics we can figure out, because depending on the values that we will identify, like if this drop offs is happening only from student cohort, then the solution could be different. If the drop-offs is happening only from, say, customers who are for the first time trying an UPI, then the solution could be different, right? So that is a very good example. Very nice. Anyone else?
I would like to add one more thing.
Yeah, Manisha,
Yeah,
go ahead.
the data is. I think the data is still not enough for the finding out what constitutes a drop off and what constitutes a failure. I think because I'll give a reason. Because when I was creating the BRD, we were figuring out that we are assuming these things would happen and this could lead to a drop off. So yeah, I mean that is why I think that there should be enough data to figure out what constitutes a drop off and a failure.
Sure, get your point.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Okay, we'll go ahead. Nida will request you again to flash your screen. We will go through your case, and then last 5 minutes I will go through my flow as well. But I think your flow is good enough, and citing your example, it will be much relatable to other folks in the group as well.
Sure, sir. I'll just share my screen again.
Yeah. Okay, so while I know that the solution that was asked were in typically 4-5 sections, right? If I'll read them, this is problem statement, then definition of failure versus drop-offs. Then there is business goal, in scope and out of scope, assumptions and constraints, and risk and open questions, right? Pretty much in sync with how I have explained the flow last time amongst 8 pillars. This is just a little consolidated version of it. Fair enough. So we'll start with the problem statement part, right? Nita, can you go through it?
Yes. Should I read it out?
Yeah, just the crux of it.
Okay, the problem statement is 35% of initiated UPI payments attempts to fail the complete successfully, indicating a critical breakdown at the moment of highest user intent. So we came across the reason why was customer dissatisfaction increased. Like we have to reduce the customer support volume, and we have to build a trust among the users at the payment stage, and also we have to increase the customer retention.
Right. So I would have started typically this one as stressing upon that why this is a problem statement, right? We will give certain context to customers, stakeholders, because when you are saying 35% drop off on UPI, people will say, hey, it's okay, they will try some other payment channel. Few of the stakeholders can say that, right? So we'll have to explain.
I would like to add one more thing.
Yeah, Manisha,
yeah,
go ahead.
the data is. I think that I mean that is why I think that there should be enough data to figure out what constitutes a drop off and a failure.
Flash your scope, assumptions, and constraints. So we'll start with the
complete successfully, indicating a critical breakdown at the moment of highest user intent. So we came across the reason why was customer dissatisfaction increased. We have to reduce the customer support volume, and we have to build a trust among the users at the payment stage, and also we have to increase the customer retention.
Right. So I would have started typically this one as citing, stressing upon that why this is a problem statement, right? We will give certain context to customers, stakeholders, because when you are saying 35% drop off on UPI, people will say, hey, it's okay, they will try some other payment channel. Few of the stakeholders can say that, right? So we'll have to explain in this section that this is a significant problem statement, because when a customer has reached out to the payment page, that means these customers want to purchase this product, very high intent driven, right? Losing that customer may actually be highly impacting our revenues or GMVs. Okay, this is not comparable to a customer who is just casually browsing on the website, because if 100 customers are browsing on the website, maybe 10 will like a product, maybe 5 will go to to the payment page, and maybe 4 will complete the payment. But these churn that we are talking about, and the very high quantum of churn, right? Drop-offs, 35% of drop-offs, which is very high intent customers who has already browsed, liked the product, added it in their cart, and is about to pay for it. So this is very key set of customers. So I think the pointers is well captured, Nida. We could just be choosing language to make it more, to emphasize this part a little more. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now next section you have written definition, right? Explain it.
So the definition was the drop off is the fee. So I didn't get we actually couldn't get a proper definition for it. So we just mentioned it in one point. So the drop off is yeah.
Fair enough. I'll take it forward, right? So okay. The first section is typically, if you guys think about it, I started my BRD flow with business objective, right? So the first part, Nida, that you have mentioned is pretty much the same, that there is very high drop off, etc., and we need to reduce that down. That is our business objective in the language that stresses upon the fact that these are very high intent customer, very meaningful customer, and this drop off is very significant. Okay. The second section that we would take away is the problem statement wala section, and this definition will be a sub part of it. It should ideally have been renamed as problem statement. So this will be sub part of it. Here we will say that this table is that important data point. This is the problem statement detailed down in a funnel format, saying that there are 7 or 8 steps involved in processing this payment. On each step, there is 5%, 7% kind of drop-offs that is happening. Some of these are customer behavior, some of these are tech failures. Okay. So at each step, we will have to understand in detail, along with our stakeholders, that what of these qualifies as customer failure and what of these are tech failures, right? Customer defects and tech failures. Yes. So, say for example, I have started a UPI journey, and the PIN, I get a PIN, but I don't. I get an OTP, but I don't feed that OTP. I was doing the decision making, but in a moment of rush, or I was doing an impulse purchase, I clicked on Pay Now. I feed it in the payment that needs to be made. The OTP got triggered, or I was diverted to the UPI payment page, but I have not fitted in, right, the details. So I churn out from there. This is customer defect. That customer was still thinking if they need to purchase or not. They were still evaluating their purchase decision, right? But say a customer is diverted. He has asked for a payment via UPI, but the navigation to the UPI page is not happening itself, or he has navigated, but a blank page is there, and he's waiting for it. So then that becomes your tech failures, right? So we will have to qualify all these steps, that how much of this is tech failure and how much of this is customer failure. Here we would need additional set of data, right? Which I purposefully ask people to delete while sharing these details. This set of data, which will largely be logs of the failure, which will say that how much of the customers were waiting for the screen to pop up but it never came across, how much of timed out at bank level, how much of customers were actually pressed the back button or exited the app and never shown intent to go through the funnel. So those set of data will help us constitute that how much of this entire funnel drop is because of which of these levels are because of customer intent and which of these levels are tech failures. All right, and hence there will be two set of problem statements that will emerge. One, for customer defect, we will argue about improving or showing information or improving the experience of the funnel so that the defect is lower. Sometimes you would feel, right, just for explanation, this need not be part of BRD, but sometimes you would have felt that I'm doing a flight booking or I'm doing a hotel booking or I'm purchasing something, and I remember that the flight was around 8,000, but I exactly don't recall if it was 8,700 or it was 8,200. While you are going to enter the OTP, how many of you have felt that? I feel it multiple times, and then that is the point when I actually want to know. I want to recall if it was 8,700 or 8,200, and then I don't proceed with the payment. I cancel that payment, go back again, and try to know if the exact payment was 8,200 or 8,700, and upon knowing that explicit detail, then I proceed for the payment in my second attempt. So that will also qualify as that user has abandoned the funnel, right? But if that piece of information was there on the page, then probably I would have not turned out. So there will be two problem statement. One which will emerge as customer defect. Second, that will emerge as tech failures, right? And basis the data, we will have to prove how much of that funnel drop of 35% is because of customer defect and how much of that is because of tech failures. Fair enough?
Okay, sir.
That
Yes,
will complete my problem statement part.
So this part is we have to assume or think about it by ourselves.
No. For this particular exercise, you assumed a lot of things. When you will be writing an actual BRD, you will not be assuming things. But these are the hypotheses that you need to create. Like some of you felt that there should be this kind of data. This no one is going to teach you. What kind of data is needed, no one is going to teach you. We will have to create our hypothesis that, hey, let's see, like Rohan and Shabana, they came up with an hypothesis that this could be because of new customer. Then we will go to relevant analytics team, or we ourselves are analysts. So we will go and we will identify that data, how much of this customer funnel drop of 35% is because of new customer or is because of old customer, right? These are the hypotheses that we need to create. We have just known that there is 35%. In fact, this table that is there flashing on Nida's screen, this will also not come to you. We will have to first do an hypothesis that, or a structured thinking that, let's draw the funnel. Then the first data will come like this. Then that account of, there is 4.5% drop on amount and payee confirmed. Now, did the customer, the assumptions or the hypothesis that Nida has written, wrong amount or trust or security concern, or user exits to recheck. I think this was exactly the point that I was mentioning. User exits to recheck details, right? There could be another thing that customer was waiting all the way to, feed the detail, but that page never came up. So we will have to draw these hypotheses. This is wonderful set of hypotheses that she has written for each. And this is the 70% of the job done in a BRD. Was waiting all the way to the point that I was mentioning. User exits to recheck details, right? There could be another thing that customer was waiting all the way to feed the detail, but that page never came up. So we will have to draw these hypotheses. This is wonderful set of hypotheses that she has written for each. And this is the 70% of the job done in a BRD. That we create, we define good set of hypotheses we go and identify the data. If the data shows that this is actually the problem statement, include the data in our BRD. If the data shows, say Sabana or Rohan went ahead and found that new customer wala detail, and then they realized no, actually 35% drop off is true for new customer also and old customer also. So then we reject that hypothesis. We do not include that in our BRD because that is not our problem statement, right? So creating this set of hypotheses in the problem statement, identifying the details and backing our problem statement with the details, we'll be able to do it. This set of hypotheses is actually the problem statement, include the data in our BRD. If the data shows, say Sabana or Rohan went ahead and found that new customer wala detail, and then they realized no, actually 35% drop off is true for new customer also and old customer also. So then we reject that hypothesis. We do not include that in our BRD because that is not our problem statement, right? So creating this set of hypotheses in the problem statement, identifying the details and backing our problem statement with the details, we'll be able to do it. So I'm going with the assumption over here for illustration that when we found these logs, we will see that there was actually a customer who pressed back button. There were actually customer who exited the app. Then we know that this is the customer intent issue. How do we enhance the experience? So that this drop-offs does not happen. Then we will also know a set of logs wherein we will see that actually page never came up, or the keyboard did not work, or the OTP never got triggered, or the PIN never got accepted. So those are the set of problem statements which are tech errors. Okay.
Animesh, I have a question.
Yes.
So first we create the problem statement, and then we create hypothesis around that problem statement, right?
See, you start from business goal. You know that 35% drop off is a reality.
Yeah.
Now you start creating. So you need to improve that 35% churn and reduce that to say 10 or 15%, whatever is the industry benchmark. Then comes why is this drop off happening is the problem statement. So while drafting your problem statement, you will create hypothesis, because once you know problem statement, then मतलब वो आपको कैसे पता चलेगा? वो तो हाइपोथेसिस बनाओगे, सॉल्व करोगे, आइडेंटिफाई करोगे, तभी जाके आपको प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट बनेगा. तो वी स्टार्ट फ्रॉम बिजनेस ऑब्जेक्टिव, we create hypothesis ki why this churn must be happening, then you identify details, and then you finally conclude the problem statement that hey, the problem statement is out of 35% people, 20% people are seeing experience gaps, and hence the churn is happening. 15% are because of the tech reasons. Okay.
So we do hypothesis to narrow down our problem statement.
Yes. Okay.
And then, I mean, my point is like, can't we just directly go into the data? I mean, without creating hypothesis?
Okay, let me ask you what data you will go and see.
I mean, if we have a bit of idea that, okay, this thing is happening.
That is hypothesis. That is hypothesis.
Okay.
Right? Again, quoting the same example, like Rohan felt that this churn may be happening because of new customers. That is an idea. That is hypothesis. Go and find out if that is actually happening because of the new customer. Not happening. Drop that hypothesis. That is not part of your problem statement. Then someone goes and say that, is this happening only for mobiles as a category? That could be an hypothesis. Is it happening for entire platform, or this is just happening for mobiles as a category? Go and find this funnel, drop a funnel for organization, mobiles category, rest of say lifestyle category, say shoes category, say luggage category. Find out this funnel for all the categories and see if this is skewed towards one category. If it is skewed towards one category, then say there is the problem statement. So we will have to keep narrowing down our create new hypothesis and narrow down to identify the exact problem statement.
Okay, and then we look to the data.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Try to understand why all these things may be happening, because there is, guys, there is plenty of data in the world. What data will you go and find? It will take you ages to go through all the data, and someone to all of a sudden you are dependent on luck that some of the data will come across which will guide you towards the problem statement. We know for sure that there is 85% drop off. We first found the funnel that this is the drop off. Now this drop off is happening for a new customer, old customer, category, or for everyone, or this is happening only for say PhonePe UPI and not for Super Money UPI. All these hypotheses we will have to create. We will have to identify data, and then when we know that these are the narrower set of problem statement which is showing, which is capturing the majority of this drop, then we know here lies the problem.
Our hypothesis can be wrong as well, na?
Yes, of course.
Mhm.
Hypothesis is nothing but, I don't know, hypothesis is nothing but an idea or an assumption, and then you validate it. That's it. Okay, moving on. This is good. Move on. So this will be our ways of putting in the problem statement that, hey, we have identified certain details, and it seems that so much of this is customer defect, so much of this is technical defect. In customer defect, if you can pinpoint to a new customer or an old customer, or in a tech defect, you can pinpoint to one of those banking partners or one of those payment channels, then you lay that out. If none of those are skewed, then you simply say that for all set of customers without unskew, there is a drop off. For all set of banking partners without unskew, there is a drop off. Okay, you can also, while no one mentioned, we can also talk about customer voices over here. That if failures are happening, customer must be giving feedback. To go and check it from customer's voice. What are they saying? Some of the customers will say that they kept on waiting for the OTP. Some of the customers will say that the cross button was so close to the OK button that instead of giving an OK button, I accidentally pressed the back button or the cross button. So those kind of verbatim will also be there. So now if you say you defined earlier that 20% is customer defect, 15% is tech issue. Out of those 20%, from the customer voices, from the app feedback, or they reached out to customer support, 40% are saying that they pressed the back button, 30% saying that they kept on waiting for the OTP. So those kind of things you will further narrow it down, right? And by narrowing, you're just classifying the problem statement. It does not mean that you're saying in this problem statement that this needs to be solved and this does not need to be solved. No, that we will do later. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, in my flow, after the problem statement part, I mentioned we will write the business requirement, right? So we can.
Yes, sir.
This is so the example that I quoted that day. That was a very technical business requirement kind of thing, wherein we wanted an explicit campaign or the payment construct that we wanted. Business was wanted to get designed in a certain way. So our business requirement was very detailed. In this kind of thing, our business requirement is as simple as problem statement, right? Okay, this is the problem statement, we need to solve this. So business requirement could capture things like, we need to improve customer funnel to at least, from 35% drop off to just 10% drop offs. There was a data wherein we can, while defining problem statement, we can see that people are retrying or not. People are churning altogether, or they are coming and paying via certain drop-offs. Then another set of business requirement could be we need to improve the retry. For all the churned cases, or for all the failure cases, we will have to ensure that the retry percentage is higher. We'll have to ensure that the statement part I mentioned we will. Now, in my flow, after the problem statement part, I mentioned we will write the business requirement, right? So we can.
Yes, sir.
This is so the example that I quoted that day. That was a very technical business requirement kind of thing, wherein we wanted an explicit campaign or the payment construct that we wanted. Business was wanted to get designed in a certain way. So our business requirement was very detailed. In this kind of thing, our business requirement is as simple as problem statement, right? Okay, this is the problem statement, we need to solve this. So business requirement could capture things like, we need to improve customer funnel to at least, from 35% drop off to just 10% drop offs. There was a data wherein we can, while defining problem statement, we can see that people are retrying or not. People are churning altogether, or they are coming and paying via certain drop-offs. Then another set of business requirement could be we need to improve the retry. For all the churned cases, or for all the failure cases, we will have to ensure that the retry percentage is higher. We'll have to ensure that the latency in the app is lower. Those kind of things we will write in a business requirement document, a simple table. That is the problem statement. This is what we need. Now we will go a lot of detail into assumptions and constraints, right? All those things that you can support your problem statement and business requirement. Like in this case, I would want to put in, while this could be a very short, or we can eliminate altogether, or we can put in a very descriptive format, however we want. I typically want to do it in a very descriptive format. I will lay out the land here, guys, from a business person. Why it is important for us to solve this, right? I will mention that UPI as a payment channel is going, the adoption is going higher and higher with each passing day, and not just on our platform, on any other platform. There are so many UPI users. The card users are so low. COD users are decreasing. If you get all this data through secondary research and all, put it over there, right? If we are not stronger in our UPI funnel and UPI customers keep growing, we won't be able to take a larger part of that share. Some other competition who has a very strong funnel of UPI, they will be able to attract those customers more. So we will put all those things under our assumptions or under our support to that problem statement and business requirement. That, hey, these are the other factors which are very important. That is why we want you to acknowledge our business objective. We want you to solve our problem statement. So we will put all those things in support of our business requirements. And then we will come to the constraints part. In constraint part, we will, so there could be, while you are discussing, and this BRD does not happen in isolation, guys, right? You will always, when you are writing BRD, you will know who your stakeholders are. So you will always keep on working with them, talking to them, right? To get all this data also, you will talk to a lot of stakeholders. So you will reach out to the stakeholders. Some of them may say, you know what, to improve the customer funnel, you can give discount to customers, UPI customers. That can be a probable solution to improve the funnel, right? Guys, what do you think?
Yes, sir.
Right? It could be. Then there comes the constraint. All those things that you can support your problem statement and business requirement. Like in this case, I would want to put in, while this could be a very short, or we can eliminate altogether, or we can put in a very descriptive format, however we want. I typically want to do it in a very descriptive format. I will lay out the land here, guys, from a business person. Why it is important for us to solve this, right? I will mention that UPI as a payment channel is going, the adoption is going higher and higher with each passing day, and not just on our platform, on any other platform. There are so many UPI users. The card users are so low. COD users are decreasing. If you get all this data through secondary research and all, put it over there, right? If we are not stronger in our UPI funnel and UPI customers keep growing, we won't be able to take a larger part of that share. Some other competition who has a very strong funnel of UPI, they will be able to attract those customers more. So we will put all those things under our assumptions or under our support to that problem statement and business requirement. That, hey, these are the other factors which are very important. That is why we want you to acknowledge our business objective. We want you to solve our problem statement. So we will put all those things in support of our business requirements. And then we will come to the constraints part. In constraint part, we will, so there could be, while you are discussing, and this BRD does not happen in isolation, guys, right? You will always, when you are writing BRD, you will know who your stakeholders are. So you will always keep on working with them, talking to them, right? To get all this data also, you will talk to a lot of stakeholders. So you will reach out to the stakeholders. Some of them may say, you know what, to improve the customer funnel, you can give discount to customers, UPI customers. That can be a probable solution to improve the funnel, right? Guys, what do you think?
Yes, sir.
Right? It could be. Then there comes the constraint parts. Say you don't have budget, you don't have monies to fund that UPI offers. Okay, so you will say that the constraint is that we can't offer discount to support UPI funnel. That could be a business constraint. Okay, another set of people said, engineers said, or product managers would say that all this is fine, but touching anything which is also mentioned in the case, right? Touching anything which is on the bank's end is very difficult. So we can put that as P2. That we understand a significant part of UPI drop-offs is because of the bank issue, not failure on the app. But we keep that as constraint, that that will be taken in a P2 version, not right now. Okay, so these are the things we will do as a part of constrainting. Nida,
Yes, sir.
I want you to explain this section, what you guys did, what is this proposal?
So this is just actually this should be like somewhere in the
Part of
scope.
our scope. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just a
We
suggestion.
Yeah, Manisha,
I
could you
would-
explain this part if you want?
I mean, we have added in the 7th point in the scope that new feature can be introduced through a small application redesign. Example, payment can be done through fingerprint rather than UPI pin. I'm not sure that this is what backend requirements is needed for this feature to go live. But yeah, I mean, I thought that we can add this in the scope and we can add it as an example.
Sure.
As
Now, Manisha, here's the reason why I asked you guys to explain, because when you were explaining it at the beginning of this session, I was very excited, but I felt bad also. Let me tell you why. When we
Okay.
start our career, right, we are like कि हम ये बदल देंगे, वो बदल देंगे, we are the rock stars, and everyone should believe this. Don't take that away from yourself, right? However, this is the exact part wherein I mentioned that we need to stick to the what and the why part, not the how part.
okay.
And the answer lies in your argument itself. You said you don't know the technicalities, what needs to be enabled or disabled to make this happen. Then this is best understood by the product and the tech guy, who will know that if this is possible or not possible, right? So you will not say that enable a fingerprint instead of a pin based thing and all. However, Manisha, if you want to validate this, create an hypothesis, find some data, find some proxy data. Like for example, when you're logging in an app, logging in the PayNow app, the app which is mentioned in the case, how many of customers log in by using a pin and how many customers log in by using a fingerprint? Okay? Is there a failure log over there, that how much failure happens when there is a pin, how much failure log happens when there is a fingerprint scanner? Create
Nimish,
this.
I would like. Sorry to interrupt. I would like to add one thing. The reason why I come up with this idea, because we were looking at the table where it was showing that the highest level of drop was happening at the UPI pin entered thing. So it was 13.6%. So that is why I thought that, we have created a hypothesis. Okay, this is the part where the user drop-offs are high. So
Exactly my point. Exactly my feedback. This data could be part of the problem. This funnel is the part of the problem statement, and we can highlight this, right? That UPI pin entered wrong, or that stage there is a 13.6% drop off. Let's solve for that funnel. But I don't. But if the the tech team will just solve for that funnel, will that be sufficient? No, we would want other funnels to also get solved. So while we can stress upon the fact that hey, this is the issue, and if we give a supporting data that I have already proven that at the pin entered stage there is so much of drop-offs that is happening. There is a proxy data or there is a secondary research data which says that fingerprint or an eyeball scanner works much better than a enter the pin kind of context, right? Those kind of data we can just put it in our that support assumption and constraint wala block to support our problem statement, but don't
add it in the scope.
divert
Got it. Yeah.
into suggesting that this is how we want to do it.
Yeah. Got it.
Right? That should be their the stakeholders' problem statement. Right? She has proven that 15% of the drop-offs happen over here, the majority of it. How do I improve it? They will come with a solution that instead of pin, let me put the finger wala thing. If you have the data, you put it in the BRD for reference. People will consume it. Maybe they will be taking idea from what you have mentioned, but your BRD can't revolve around that solution. Okay.
Got it.
So Animesh, we can give the suggestions if we have the backing data and the reasoning.
I always want to give. If I can suggest something to my stakeholder in their field, I will want to give that, but I will not highlight that, or I will not make it the hero statements in my BRDs. I'll put it in a very humble, subtle way in a section saying that this is what data suggests. Maybe we can go over there, and it completely depends on your audience, guys. When you start writing BRDs in the professional setup, if you see your stakeholder is a difficult one, they do not want you to be stepping on their shoes, you can choose to eliminate this section altogether. Don't give solutions at all. If you find that they are welcoming ideas a bit, then put it in the humble, subtle way, not the hero part of your BRD, but a reference, just for reference. Okay, I want
so
to. I put it as a reference, but I don't stress upon solving it that way. They are better equipped to have an alternate solution which can work better than ours.
okay, so the right way to go after this is that when we see that the main problem is happening at the point of entering the pin, so then we need to come up with the hypothesis. What are the possible reasons behind that? And then if we have a validating data that this can be the possible, this can be the possible, only that we should include, not that this fingerprint thing. Or we can include this if we have data that our competitor tried this and they have the good conversion. So maybe the industry or this can solve the issue. Just the thing.
If we have the data, if we have the data backing our claim, then include it in a humble, subtle way in your BRD. If we don't have a data or a objectivity backing our claim, do not include it in BRDs at all. However, even if you have a data backing your objective and your stakeholders are difficult, this is a practical. This has nothing to do with how to write BRD. This is more of a practical nuance that you will face in your organization. If your stakeholders are difficult, they don't want you to be stepping on their shoes, you can exclude it from BRDs. So from the definition of BRD, this does not have a place in BRD, but sometimes we feel passionate about our projects and we have data backing it up. We could be including this in a humble, subtle way in a reference section or in the assumption section of our BRD. I do that.
Yeah. One more thing is that I want to confirm the motto of the BRD is that we want to give the direction of our whole organization or some teams around a particular problem, or is it that we want to give a problem statement but with more particular thing that after reading it they start taking or building products or actionable steps?
No, the motto of the BRD is we tell what is being a blocker in our business, and we prove that if we solve this blocker, it will unlock growth for us. That is the motto of the BRD.
Okay.
We need this problem statement to be solved so that the growth unlocks. How are they solving? Is step next to BRDs. There will be, if this problem statement you simply put in all the details without this nuance of fingerprints, etc. The product team or the tech team will go do the user research, try to understand why are they dropping off. Then they will come across these details that entering pin is becoming troublesome. The fingerprint scanner is better. Then they themselves will come with the solutions. What I was suggesting you is, if you have already done that in course of identifying the problem statement, then you put it in a humble, subtle way in the BRD. It will fast forward the things. But if you say that from the traditional BRD definition setup, does that has a place in BRD? I will say no. But as and when teams are getting more and more collaborative, those sharp boundaries of BRDs are getting eroded, and that is how I believe it should be. We have any suggestion, we can put it in a humble, subtle way, but only if you have data or some study backing it up, and you don't invest time writing or creating those things while identifying problem statement. If you have come across, please feel free to put it over there for everyone's reference. Okay.
So BRD is basically what and why of the problem statement.
What and why of the problem statement.
Yeah.
And by including this data, you guys.
Your voice is breaking.
I think.
Yeah, Animesh. Hello.
Hello.
It's breaking. It's breaking.
Nimesh, we still can't hear you.
Now? Hello?
Yeah, it's better now.
Yeah.
Much better? Am I audible now?
Yes, you are.
Yes.
Cool, guys. So I think we covered, Nita, your scheme of things, right?
Yeah.
Take it. Then I will switch to my solution. I'll just take 5 minutes. I think we covered most of it, but I'll just take 5 minutes to present and I've also scribbled some solutions. My screen is up.
Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, so in business objective, it's just the whatever has come top down or whatever we have discovered. It could be very plain, simple, small section which says that we need to ensure conversion of high intent customer. Our customers are dropping by 35% and all. We'll just put it. So I have written pointers that what needs to be touched upon. The English could be more specific, more stressing upon the fact that this is important customer cohort and we need to ensure that their drop offs are lower and all. And metrics that we can put it over there that we need to improve UPI adoption.
What is this prepaid channels?
Yeah, I'll come to that. There may be cases that someone who is failing or who is adopting UPI are the same customers who are moving from card payment to UPI payment. Okay. Now it may happen that when these guys are facing issue in UPI, they again go back to the card and pay. So when you are solving for these customers for the UPI channels, you may not be getting more customers. You are just enabling them to pay via UPI. If you would have not enabled, they would have gone and paid via card. Okay, so these things will happen. The first challenge, someone can put up a challenge that, hey, we are saying that this is a 35% drop off. Why is this a problem? Why you feel this is a problem? If say I don't have UPI channel altogether, why is that a problem? Then we'll have to go and say that, hey, when the customers who are dropping off on UPI, we are losing them altogether. It's not that they are still going and paying and our GMVs are secured. We are losing that customer altogether. We are losing that business. Hence, this is a problem. So whenever a problem statement is thrown or a problem comes up, guys, it's always our duty while writing a BRD or while evaluating that is a problem statement. It's our duty to understand that something which looks like an obvious wrong thing to happen is actually a wrong thing or not. Therefore, I included such pointers like, while UPI channels are definitely dropping, the prepaid channels are also dropping. So these guys are not going back on card payment and completing the payment. They are actually dropping off. Hence, this is important customer cohort which needs to be solved. Now you will say, why prepaid, why not COD? Maybe that they are unable to do a prepaid channel. They are unable to pay via UPI. So they have done a cash on delivery order. Now cash on delivery orders have certain disadvantage. Therefore, you would want them to be sticking to the prepaid channel itself. Cash on delivery orders may have higher returns, may have customer frauds, may have a lot of cancellation of orders because 3 days when it takes to deliver, people may cancel out, right? Then it's logistic cost. So you would want them to be sticking to prepaid. Hence, one version of business objective that I have mentioned is not just UPI problem statement, but also prepaid. Okay. Then we will deep dive into that 35% breakup of that 35%. Here I like the idea that I have included, that we should also be seeing customer segments. Objective that I delivered mentioned is not just UPI problem statement, but also prepaid. The idea then we will deep dive into that 35% breakup of that 35%. Here I like the idea that I have included, that we should also be seeing customer segments. Then I was thinking out loud while brainstorming with you guys. We can also think of if there is category of products which is facing this drop off, or this is entire organization. So we'll break the problem statement into funnel, and then we will break the funnel into categories, customers, and we will see where the problem statement lies. For illustration, let's assume that it's not specific to a new customer. It's not specific to any customer cohort category. It is just across the organization these drop-offs exist. So we'll go ahead with this. Then this is the detail which I asked people to delete because I wanted you guys to think and ideate that what details we would need further. Say this is the data that has come. Now it says that 140,000 transactions has a problem wherein user abundance, no pin entered. Now no pin entered could be back button, or it could be exited the app, right? They press the back button or exited the app. So here this is typically customer intent. This is typically bank failure. This is typically bank tech issue. This is our app tech issue, and this is we could not identify what issues over here are. So out of all those drop offs that is happening, this is user intent, this is our app tech, this is bank tech. We can identify from details like this, and then we will say that there are three buckets of problem statement of all these drop offs happening at each stage. uh, these failures which are typically over here are bank issues, which is priority 2 for us. These this is user intent, so some experience needs to be solved. This is our app ka technicality. This may not be as strong a use case as customer intent, but still doable at our end. We don't need bank support over here, so we can classify our problem statements here. So basically we, again we can go in detail that people who are the same thing, right? People who are failing to put in complete the transactions because they have pressed the back button, or they have exited the app, or they were unable to put in the thing and hence exited the app, right? How much of this was forced? How much of this was optional for customers? Out of 40% non-successful attempts, maybe 30% they were forced to exit the app or press the back button because the app lagged or because the app hanged. So they will come back and retry. Some of them will not retry, right? Some of them will just enter the wrong bank. Now imagine a situation, and again, this will not be part of the how list, but to not part of the BRD, but to just to illustrate. Maybe when we are listing the banks, SBI, HDFC, ICICI, the font is so small, or the radio button to choose these banks are so close to each other that accidentally we end up choosing some other bank. Now when we move forward in the funnel, we realize, oh, we selected the wrong bank. Then come back again and do this. Those kind of things will happen, right? So that is a experience gap. So this from the user research, we will have to come back and understand that, how much of that has been, they have come back again and retried. How much of that them have retried with a different bank? How much of them permanently exited the app itself, right? How much of them came back to customer support? Now,
Animesh, this data will be given, or if
No.
not given, with what with what backups do we come with this solution?
So Nida, if say, like I said, right, the problem statement that typically in an organization you will face is just this black part, nothing more. This will be the problem statement that you will have. Here for illustration, because this is a course, you are given some context up and down. But when you're in an individual capacity working for an organization, you feel that, hey, so much of UPI is failing, I need to do something about it. You are the owner of that track. You just know this statement. Sometimes you even don't know this. You feel that our GMVs are going for a toss. We are declining. Our growth has stopped. Why? Then you will first come up with a set of data to understand that, hey, our 35% of UPI payments are failing. So this all you will be on your own. So very important thing for writing BRD or for cracking up any problem statement at office, in a professional setup, that we need to train ourselves to ask the right questions, to form the right hypothesis. Like when this funnel from here, this 35%, the first right approach will be to draw this funnel. Then it will be how much of this is because of customer. Sorry. Then the next approach will be how much of this will be the customer, how much of this is customer issue and how much of this is tech issue. How much of the tech issue is our tech issue, or how much of that is bank issue, right?
So
how
we
much
come up with a hypothesis.
Yes.
Okay.
We come up with those questions and then we try to get those answers, right? And the one, like for example, if all of this was 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, then all of this needs to be solved. But now when this is 40, all of a sudden this becomes your hero, right?
Yes.
Then you will do the user evaluation that how much of this 40 is customer intent altogether, but that seems to be just 29%. The rest seems to be that customer wanted to do the transaction, right? So again, by drawing all these questions, by putting in all these details, that this is genuine customer churn, this is genuine experience problem, or this is genuine tech problem. Maybe all of this was very lower, and the 9% thing was 90% thing. Then all of a sudden the problem statement for you will be very different. The problem statement will be just my customers are fine, and the experience is fine. Your app is very slow. Just fast forward the app, and the solution would be to improve tech infrastructure so that those lags are not there. But this is 9 and this is 90. Then your problem statement is my customers are facing trouble to complete the transaction. Hence, improve the experience. You get it, right?
Yes. So 1,40,000. So we would ask the we would conduct a survey or something like that, and then we'll get the value like 1,40,000 or something.
You will get these details. This you will get it from system itself. कि how much user dependent, how much. ये तो आपको system से मिल जाएगा. फिर इसको further deep dive करने के लिए, क्योंकि customer हर जगह तो जाके verbatim नहीं देता, तो ये आपको feedback से मिलेगा. तो इसके लिए आपको customer survey करना पड़ सकता है.
Okay.
right?
Okay, got it. Yes.
Anyways, like how I'm thinking about it is that we had this data where it is 13.6%, we weren't aware about this, like why is this happening. So first, I also thought it that why it is happening, and then in the fourth column there is system failure system logs. So we could have thought that some of this can be system problem and some of that could be user issue, and then we would have the data of the failure system logs, and then we can uh, see or track like what percentage of the system log is there, and then we can subtract from the 30.6%, that is the overall UPI pin entered issue, and then we can know about there is some percentage of user issue where the user is actually abandoning the app or that payment stage. So from the data we will get to know about it that it is 40%, and then we know now that the majority of this is 40% and this is user abandoned because of this. Then we will deep down into user abandoned part, and for that we need to do the user research, and through the user research we will get to know why they are abandoning. Is this the right way to think about it?
Yes, perfect, Prem. Right, we will go step by step. We will try to go deep into details to identify the exact problem statements in exact quantum, and then we will have to be smart enough to understand ki are we going to ask the organization to just solve one of the problem statement, or there could be two or three of it. If the majority of this is confined to just one solution, say you know say like let's take Nita and Manisha's example of that UPI pin versus that thumb impression. For that to happen, the data should typically look like that UPI pin entered is like 40% of the funnel drop is here. Most of my things are user abandoned, no pin entered. Most of the 90% of the non-success rate should have been here. Rest should be very minimal. Then we would ask that how much of them have retried. Then we would see that people retried but left, people could never came, people those things, like if with the same bank retried with the same bank, these things would have been much higher, right? Then customer voice may it would have happened when we will do the survey key, why are you dropping off, you're retrying with the same bank, you're retrying again, but you're still dropping off in funnels. Then one of those key things would have gotten highlighted, that we are facing problem entering the pin, or the text box is very poor, or the keyboard never pops up to enter the pin. Those kind of customer verbatim will come. Then the problem statement that you will mention is 90% of the customer funnel drop, 35% is dropping funnel drop in UPI, and 90% of that funnel drop is happening because customer is facing trouble entering the pin. You will still not write that instead of pin put in the fingerprint. You will not write that, but you will write 90% of the problem is confined to customer unable to enter the pin, and you will put in all these details that you first saw this funnel, then that breakup, then this breakup, and then customer voice, and then you finally concluded that this is the problem statement. You will put it in a doc, you will substantiate it with all the data, you will mention the scopes and whatever it is, scopes and assumptions, you will give a business sizing that that I will follow up again. So
where the user is actually abandoning the app or that payment stage, and then we can like what percentage of the system log is there, and then we can subtract from the 30.6%, that is the overall UPI pin entered issue, and then we can know about there is some percentage of user issue where the user is actually abandoning the app or that payment stage. So from the data we will get to know about it that it is 40%, and then we know now that the majority of this is 40% and this is user abandoned because of this. Then we will deep down into user abandoned part, and for that we need to do the user research, and through the user research we will get to know why they are abandoning. Is this the right way to think about it?
Yes, perfect, Prem. Right, we will go step by step.
User research we will get to know why they are abandoning. Then we will deep down into user abandoned part, and for that we need to do the user research, and through the user research we will get to know why they are abandoning. Is this the right way to think about it?
Yes, perfect, Prem. Right, we will go step by step. We will try to go deep into details to identify the exact problem statements in exact quantum, and then we will have to be smart enough to understand Are we going to ask the organization to just solve one of the problem statement, or there could be two or three of it? If the majority of this is confined to just one solution, say, uh, say like let's take Nita and Manisha's example of that UPI pin versus that thumb impression. For that to happen, the data should typically look like that UPI pin entered is like 40% of the funnel drop is here. Most of my things are user abandoned, no pin entered. Most of the 90% of the non-success rate should have been here. Rest should be very minimal. Then we would ask that how much of them have retried. Then we would see that people retried but left. People could never came. People those things like if with the same bank retried with the same bank, these things would have been much higher, right? Then customer voice may it would have happened when we will do the survey key. Why are you dropping off? You're retrying with the same bank. You're retrying again, but you're still dropping off in funnels. Then one of those key things would have gotten highlighted that we are facing problem entering the pin, or the text box is very poor, or the keyboard never pops up to enter the pin. Those kind of your retry much higher, right? Right? Then customer voice may it would have happened when we will do the survey key. Why are you dropping off? You're retrying with the same bank. You're retrying again, but you're still dropping off in funnels. Then one of those key things would have gotten highlighted that we are facing. You're retrying again, right? Then customer voice may it would have those things like if with the same bank retried with the same bank, these things would have been much higher, right? Then customer voice may it would have happened when we will do the survey key. Why are you dropping off? You're retrying with the same bank. You're retrying again, but you're still dropping off in funnels. Then one of those key things would have gotten highlighted that we are facing problem entering the pin, or the text box is very poor, or the keyboard never pops up to enter the pin. Those kind of customer verbatim will come. Then the problem statement that you will mention is 90% of the customer funnel drop, 35% is dropping funnel drop in UPI, and 90% of that funnel drop is happening because customer is facing trouble entering the pin. You will still not write, that instead of pin, put in the fingerprint. You will not write that, but you will write 90% of the problem is confined to customer unable to enter the pin. And you will put in all these details that you first saw this funnel, then that breakup, then this breakup, and then customer voice. And then you finally concluded that this is the problem statement. You will put it in a doc. You will substantiate it with all the data. You will mention the scopes and whatever it is, scopes and assumptions. You will give a business sizing that that I will follow again. So this is how you will construct the problem statement. Okay, I'll have to run a little fast on this. So all these are the data pin, and you will put in all these details that you first saw this funnel, then that breakup, then this pin. You will still not write dropping. Your team will come pin, or the text box is very poor. Why are you dropping off? You're retrying with the same bank. You're retrying again, but you're still dropping off in funnels. Then one of those key things would have gotten highlighted that we are facing problem entering the pin, or the text box is very poor, or the keyboard never pops up to enter the pin. Those kind of customer verbatim will come. Then the problem statement that you will mention is 90% of the customer funnel drop, 35% is dropping funnel drop in UPI, and 90% of that funnel drop is happening because customer is facing trouble entering the pin. You will still not write, that instead of pin, put in the fingerprint. You will not write that, but you will write 90% of the problem is confined to customer unable to enter the pin. And you will put in all these details that you first saw this funnel, then that breakup, then this breakup, and then customer voice. And then you finally concluded that this is the problem statement. You will put it in a doc. You will substantiate it with all the data. You will mention the scopes and whatever it is, scopes and assumptions. You will give a business sizing that that I will follow again. So this is how you will construct the problem statement. Okay, I'll have to run a little fast on this. So all these are the data, tentative data that we can look at to confine the problem statements, right? We will also see that, say the maximum failure rate is with SBI, maybe the percentage of the technical failures at the bank's end, SBI is the most infamous one over there. But this could be out of scope because, we have understood and the constraint is that we can't change bank thing. But this data, we can identify this data, put it as that, this is out of scope. Business requirement, because this is not any specific design that you are asking, not any specific capability or constraint that you are asking for a funnel improvement. Hence, not a lot of technical things will go in the business requirement section. You have mentioned the problem statement, and then we'll have to just say that, we need to improve these metrics. So business requirements and metrics can come together that improve customer funnel, drop-off needs to be reduced, retry needs to improve if not a lot of people are retrying, right? Information transparency to customers should be there. That can come from the customer's survey that a lot of people are not finding details and they are going back in the app to find the details while doing the payment. So those things you will have to mention over here. To support the BRD and the problem statement and the ask that we have, we can put it a macro thing that, UPI adoption is increasing, customer churn from platform, if the funnel is weak, these customers are not only not doing UPI payment, they're never coming back on the platform itself. If those kind of details are there, then we will have to just put all those things together, right? We will put in constraint that, we can't be solving for, discounts. We don't have budgets. So those kind of solutions we can't put in across. We will also put in support that, things like it's important to improve the prepaid or the UPI because the return rates are lower when someone prepay for products. So those kind of assumption supports and constraints, we'll all just put it together. This is as much as you can put to support your case, right? Then the scope you can write in-app changes is only possible whether it will take or customer. Bank drop-offs will be a priority too, right? Then this is again an important thing. Now when we will improve funnel size and A and O. Your stakeholders will ask you, why to do this? This is where you will have to prove that when the organization will invest a month of time to solve this, right? Then they will get benefit from here. What are these benefits? So whatever is the improvement in funnel, say the drop-offs has reduced from 35 to 20%. Then whatever is the order value that they were purchasing, right? Minus the cannibalization. So if someone has dropped off, they could have still went ahead and purchased it from a different payment channel, right? So minus the cannibalization. This is the revenue that org will get. Plus, we said that if customers drops off, then many of those customers permanently drop off from the platform. They never come back on the platform. So if say that customer on average does 4 transactions in a year's time, then you will say that how many customers whoever have dropped off from the platform, they would have purchased 4 times in a year. Then average order value of say 1,000 rupees. So much is the loss. So we will be able to retain this also. Then there will be another thing that losses reduction. So there is return. If say someone orders a COD, cash on delivery, the return rate is 20%. But if say someone is doing a prepaid order, the return rate is 10%. So 10% of return losses. Say when someone is doing a return, on average, company incurs a 100 rupee cost. So 10% of that volume, which is getting, which is dropping off, out of those volume, 10% into 100 rupees is the saving that company will do. So these are the 3-tiered benefit that organization will get if we solve for it. So we will have to put that business sizing. Exact nuance and detail mein, you can go to the recording of the previous session wherein I took a live example and showed what are the numbers we can think of, and when you will be getting details to write the problem statement, you will know exact numbers. Put in all those numbers to do those business sizing. If say some number is not available, put an assumption and write that assumption. Okay, but do write business sizing, because the first 2 or 3 sections that anyone will look for is business objective. This is one. A part of problem statement, which is the hero problem statement, number 2, and then business sizing, number 3. What to solve? What are they talking about? Which will be an objective? What is the exact problem statement? The funnel drop, which will be in the problem statement part. And if we solve for it, how much will be the impact? Then this is the business sizing is the impact. Then it will come, okay, now let's understand this is really a problem statement. Can we do away without solving for this? Those things will come later. But these are the 2 or 3 sections that people will come and upfront check in the document. One of the last part is success metric. That how do we track that when the solution is done? How do we track that we have actually made a progress? Then your funnel, which is a drop off of 35%, should improve. Your UPI share, because now the funnel has improved, more and more people are doing UPI transaction, that should improve. But these 2 in itself may not be meaningful. Then the third thing could be your prepaid share. That people, my UPI transaction improved from 20% to 30%, but my prepaid share, including card, UPI, EGVs, everything put together was 40%, remained 40%. Then probably I'm not getting so much of benefit. So then success metric should be a 2 or 3 metric a combination at that defined at that level, which when move actually create goodness for organization. Okay, so these typically would have been my flow. Of course, with proper English and AI, this was the pointers which I thought I will just put across for you guys to understand that how we approach it. So tell me guys, any question, any specific question or doubt that I can clear, or then we'll wrap up this session.
Could you share the link of this study solution?
This one?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll share it with coordinators and they will share it to you guys. Okay? Isme few of the things, this is just don't refer things below this. When I was talking to you guys, then I just putting in pointers on what to touch. But other than that, the above thing was the flow that I'll be there. I'll ask the coordinator to share it on your dashboards. Anything else, guys? Please feed in the feedback. I think a lot of us have dropped already.
Hey Ankush.
Hey Harsh, over to you.
Thank you. Just give me a second, please.
Sure.
So, for the starting of the document, I have mentioned the summary snapshot related to the problem that we are going to solve.
Okay.
And so here I have listed about the requirement related to improving engagement. And our main focus as for this problem is to increase the listening time on Spotify app. So I would just mention another thing where we will be including product team, stakeholder, and all of the concerned teams in the project. And then I have mentioned about the project description, like on the key point where we need to improve the listening time on the app. And it will help our ad monetization and the customer conversion rates while competing effectively against the other streaming platforms.
Understood.
Okay. And In the next point, it is project scope, where I mentioned in and out scope option, where in scope is our user segmentation, where as per given criteria, it was regarding the free customers and the premium customers, Gen Z versus millennials, urban and semi-urban or rural areas. So these are our in scope points where we will be like segmenting our customer based on these criteria. And we will also like understand the user behavior and their like engagement behavior on the application in our Indian market. So for out of scope points, I've considered some of the backend infrastructure changes which might be related to the application or the application alignment or the like content alignment on the application. And another one is pricing or subscription model changes, where we will try to like offer some affordable option so that there are more customers on the Spotify platform, and some of the like visual changes in user interface which will help customer to relate to the content, or like uh, we can increase their attention span on our application. So these are our out of scope points that I have considered.
Got it.
And for the business drivers, we have considered revenue, user retention, where increased listening time improve ad inventory for free users. So there are many free users. For the time they are listening the application, there are some ads in between. So if their time spent on the application is more, they will generate more revenue by going through the ads, and it will also improve the higher engagement with our application. And another thing is user retention. So if listening time is more of the customer with us, then we will know more about the customer behavior, their requirement, and we will suggest content which is more relevant to them, which will lead to the customer satisfaction or the user satisfaction, and their retention will automatically increase. And third point is competitive pressure. So to cope up with our competitor, if we are working on all of these like features or applications, then the pressure will be on the competitor to improve or to provide lower prices, and our user base will increase when compared to the other platforms.
Got it.
So as per the like segmentation and users,
It's okay. I think you have already covered it. Okay. You can maybe explain this part. What is current process?
So current process is like I explained about the current ongoing process on the Spotify on the user perspective. And when we visit the application, so generally the music is like regulated by searches, the playlist, and algorithmic recommendation that are suggested to the customer on their first login or second visit to the application. So being a customer myself, there are some of the peak timings we can say where customer engages more with the platform. One is during the commute timings. So if people are commuting to their home or to their work, so they will need something to distract or like to entertain.
That's a very good observation.
And like there are some social influence playlists. Suppose I am at my friend circle and they are listening to a new trend song or something like that, and if they will say, yeah, this one is trending, or this one is a new song and out of other genre, something like that, they will explain that this is some type of unique playlist. So I will definitely give it a try. Liking it or not liking it is a second part, but I will definitely give it a try. And another thing is new releases. So if there is any movie or album release, so basically people visit that proper platform to listen about or to know that if they are like to their choices or to their likings or not. And then I have mentioned about the observed challenges. So for free users, due to the ads, the session frequency is low. sometimes they are multitasking or they are doing something and they open the application for a time pass, so they are not focused on the application or on the songs. And if they think, yeah, that is not this is not working for me, so they will close the application. And another part is inconsistent daily usage. So it is not mandated that every person who is on the application will use the application daily or will open it daily. So this is our another challenge. And yeah, in the first part where I explained about the multitasking, it is also what third point. So in the seventh point, I mentioned about the proposed process for Spotify. It will be discovering music that feels personally relevant and regional. So if like a genre or a playlist is relevant to my music taste and in my local or regional language, I will prefer listening it more and I will visit the application more. So it will increase the listening time on the application. And yeah, so we will have to also focus on the customer. Instead of an occasional listening, they will need to have a habit of visiting the website or listening to the songs daily. So it will also increase the traffic on the application daily. And another thing is longer the session as per the context and the moods. So if I'm happy and I'm listening to energetic and happy songs, so it's almost possible that I will increase my session length. Say it was 10 minutes previously, I will listen to the songs for 20-30 minutes. So these are the proposed like new processes to increase the session timing.
Okay.
And yeah, this is functional requirement where a product must be able to accommodate diverse linguistic and cultural preferences. So every person has different language and cultural preferences. So if there is vast and wide variety of the music, it will be like covering more area of the customer or more segment of the customer. And if the session continuity increases, there are chances that customer will be listening to the songs daily and will visit the application daily. And if we adapt to try using intent, active versus passive listening. So instead of passive, if we focus on active, and it will improve our customer base and their listening time will improve, which will automatically increase the company revenue.
Got it. Okay.
So,
anything else? No, I got it. Okay.
So I would try to just mention it in the phrases instead of complete details, so it can be short and I can take my time to explain.
No, I was actually about to say that you have, I would say, listed all the important points. But whenever you design a BRD, okay, so it has to be very elaborative, okay, because this is not for your understanding. This is for client's understanding. Right? So every point, like for example, this point, defining business goals and product goals. And here you are saying pricing or subscription model changes. So here you are specific, you are defining the specificity of out of scope, but here you are not. So it's a very open-ended statement from your end, right? Defining business and product goals. And although you know that, okay, what are the matrices, like, increasing average time spent daily basis, you already know it. So, just want to tell you and everyone that whenever we design a BRD, it has to be, let's say, too much. If it is too much verbose, let it be, okay? Because that's how the client wants. Because we want to put everything, all the thoughts, everything in a more detailed way, so that once BRD gets signed off, then post, I would say, start of the execution, nobody can come back and question you. Hey, why are you not doing this? Then you will quickly say it, Array, this was not part of the BRD. Okay, so this is how it works. Okay, so it's okay. You have mentioned all the, maybe every one of us are doing it for the first time, but it's okay. But whenever we design a BRD, it has to be, in a very detailed way. Okay. Okay. But rest everything is fine. Okay. Harsh, thank you so much.
Thank you, Ankush.
Okay, we will pick two more, then we will start our own session. Anyone who would like to volunteer here? Come on, guys, speak up. Who would like to go next? Do we have Mahalakshmi on the call?
Hey, Ankush, I've not put much thought into it. So
Hey,
that's why I'm okay.
It's okay. I don't know why you guys, a little hesitant, because we are not giving any marks. This is just a discussion. It's okay. It's okay. No worries. Anyone else? But it's still okay. I will go and open it. Okay. You have done a lot of things. Why are you not? Why are you saying that I have not put a lot of things in it?
So I don't think so. My BRD says a story.
No, see, it's not about story. It's just about jotting down all the things in your BRD. Again, I would reiterate that we should at least have that understanding. Okay, why should we need BRD? That's all. If we have that clear in our mind, then literally it doesn't matter how I've made it. Although when you do it for the real time or for real clients, then for sure it matters. But for timing, if you have the clarity in back of your hand that back of your head that this is how it should be done, then it's completely fine. Because I sometimes wonder that you guys will create BRD, because if you're going through towards analytics, then literally we really don't require BRD. It's more of a program management's job to create all this stuff. But as an analyst or as a business analyst or as a data scientist, you should know what is written in BRD. Okay. Okay. Anyone else? Manisha?
Oh, yeah, I can try, but I'm not sure that I would be able to, clearly justify what I
it's
have
okay.
done in BRD.
No, it's okay. Please go ahead.
Yeah. The first thing which I want to clarify, because I was earlier confused about it, I made sure that the entire BRD is about what the engagement problem is. Why it exists. In the Indian context, if I say, how success should be measured for Spotify. So it was more about solving the problem statement and talking about it. So I can say that spot if like in the entire BRD we can clearly see that Spotify India has a strong reach, but the users, they don't listen it for long enough. And we can clearly see that the sessions, they drop off early, and especially for free tier users we can see that it drop off early. And but in India it's a very different market for Spotify. The last project that I did, from there I could figure out that over 90% of users, they are on free tier. And even the regional music, that also dominates. And even if I see the listening time, it also happens in a short moment. Like people use it for commuting, while commuting, or for and also keep it sometimes in the background time. And due to this, people used to bounce off from the app, and they used to focus on another apps. So I made sure that we talk more about this problem in this BRD. So the entire in the entire document, my focus is around create justifying why the listening why the listening sessions, the user journeys, and the segmentation, why the drop off are happening. So hold on a sec, I need to
No,
check my
I got it. So I think I was just having a glance at your BRD. I believe we have covered everything. Okay. So again,
yeah
I would reiterate, in BRD we never propose any solution. Okay.
yeah
We just try to tell them what we are going to do. So for
Mhm.
so for this problem statement, we just need to write, okay, we are going to solve average, we are, or maybe we are trying to, solutioning around how to increase average time spent per
Yeah.
user.
Yeah.
That's all.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
This would be our problem statement. That's all. Because if you
Yeah.
propose something in the solution,
Yeah.
and it sounds like, we are promising something, that okay, this would be my approach
Mhm.
to drill down, or to which will, make, or which will impact or essentially increase average listening time per day. So then, let's say if it doesn't happen post your execution, then the thing will come on you. So that's why we should,
Yeah.
never propose any kind of solutioning. That okay, you can put capabilities for sure, like this is what we are capable to do, okay, but never put any kind of solutioning that, if we will do this, this will increase. You can for sure that
Yeah.
we are capable of building ML models or AI tools, agentic generative, which will help client to generate this, that. But we should never say that okay, this will lead to this. We can for sure put our capabilities, our companies or yours, or something of that sort. But it's okay. You have covered everything. Uh, ठीक है. Anything else which you would like to cover in this?
Um.
Anything else? We will just pick one more, then we'll start with something else.
No, I mean, I think I don't need to, I mean, cover anything. I mean, as long as you think that it's fine, then I don't think I need to talk about any data point or anything, because it has already been covered in our last project, and everyone has a context that this BRD is about increasing the user listening time.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yeah, just couple of feedbacks, not for you. I think for everyone. So whenever we have something to display related to time and milestone, let's try to make it in more tabular format. Okay,
Okay.
like week one, just put it there. Week two, similarly, like whatever we have, if we can incorporate tabular formats uh, for most of the things, then it would be great representation. Getting your point?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Maybe I'll let me just open this screen of mine. Do we have any? BRD. Okay, yeah. So let me present this BRD to all of you. This is a project which in I am currently working on in my current organization. Okay, and this is a typical BRD looks like. Okay, so there is a client called Walgreens. Okay, so if I look at it here, we have submission date. Okay, company symbol. It's okay. It's totally depends on the. Then we have statement of confidentiality. I'm not supposed to share you this, but it's okay. Not an issue. Take a disclaimer. Then we have titles. Okay, so the best part of this doc is that wherever I want to go, I can just click there, and I can just it will redirect me to that particular page. But okay, let me just go one by one. So we have what do we have? We have title. Okay, then we have particular owners who has prepared this document, Brandon Pryor, reviewed by something something. Okay, then who is our solution architect, who is the program manager for this one, and so on and so forth. Purpose of this document, scope of this document, what we're going to do, organization overview as a capillary, what we are going to provide them, or what we do in general. Okay, this is how their business functions. Everything is there in I would say in very minute detail, not in scope. This is a very, I would say, initial version of BRD. I do have a very latest version of BRD where everything has been closed, but I need to again log into my this one official mail. It's okay. So let's say I will tell you something. Let's say if I'll go here, scope of this document, member authentication, then where is my part? Batch feeds, data structure, flow diagrams, data structure. Okay. See, this is where my team or my responsibility comes into the picture. Data structure. So now I know that okay, this will be their member details. Like they will have source, ID, their birth date, gender, something of that sort, so on and so forth. We will have their transaction details, store master, product master. Okay, why I need this? Because they will have a requirement that once we go live with this brand, we need to run some kind of modeling. Okay, modeling in the sense some kind of machine learning algorithm. So for that, I do require store name, sorry, their column names, the kind of data, the nature of data they have. Okay, so then only I can propose something to them. Okay, although data, we should have data, actual data. So let's say when this BRD will get signed off, they will start sharing data in a particular format, in a particular schema. So our data engineering team will start ingesting the data. Then once we have the data, now it's my job or my team's job to start building the model around it. Maybe start providing them some kind of insights, some cohort level analysis, or let's say they want to do some kind of. Let me open this. Okay, but it's clear, right? Maybe I'll not go in much of detail, but this is how a typical BRD looks like. Everything is in too much detail. Every minute detail they have tried to cover here, so that we should not miss out on anything. So client should not come back after 1 month or once the project go live that hey, this was promised in BRD, or you are not covering it up in your execution. So that's why every minute detail has to be there. So once we create, or once we know that okay, this is our final version, then client signs off. Then we'll start with the execution part. Okay.
Ankush, can you, tell me, like in real life, how the process goes when we are creating a BRD? From starting to the end, just process. That's it. From whom we discuss this process, or who tells us to create a BRD, or everything.
Okay, sure. Okay, so let's talk about cloud, right? Cloud. Like cloud is something which is highly in demand. Why? Because to store some amount of data, you have, I would say, sufficient tools and techniques right now. But once data crosses a certain limit, then you need cloud to store it. And what do we use there? We use big data. I'm sure that you guys would have heard of it. Big data, like AWS, S3, or you have Azure. Okay, you have a GCP, Google. It's a Google platform which Google has launched, and to basically cloud. There are a lot of companies, right? Let's say there is a Accenture. Then what else we have? We have Oracle, and XYZ. So these companies have created some kind of tools, or I would say apps, wherein other companies can store their data. For example, let's say Flipkart, right? Flipkart. Flipkart receives n number of data on daily basis. But if we think that okay, Flipkart will have their own database, that is not correct. For sure, they would have bought some kind of license from Oracle to host their database, because Oracle is known for that, right? Because let's say Oracle have Oracle ODB, we call it ODB, Oracle database. Because if Flipkart will pay Oracle database that hey, I want to buy a subscription wherein I will paying you monthly some amount and I'll be storing my data. Okay, that's how it happens. Okay, that's why cloud is very important. Okay, now I'll connect the dots. Okay, let's talk about the BRD which I was just explaining. Okay, so there is a company which is a cloud-based company. Okay, and what this company do? They data hosting, or let's say database management. Okay, first thing they provide. Second thing, they, let's say, do consulting for you as well. Third one, they provide AI/ML solutions. Okay, so this is very Uber level point of view. You know, this can be broken down into multiple, I would say, points. Similarly, consulting and AI/ML. Okay, so we can have multiple sub points within them. Okay, this is what this cloud-based company. Let's call it company XYZ. Okay. Now, let's say there is a company called, let's take it example, Walgreens itself. Walgreens. What does Walgreens do? They have retail stores, right? First is they have retail stores. Retail stores. Second one, they have website as well. Website. Okay. So basically, they sell their products through these two channels: retail stores and websites. Okay, let's say this brand or this company has become a very large company. So now, let's say initially they were 1K users which used to come to their retail stores or website. Now it has gone to millions, or let's say billions. So to store their customers' data, they need some kind of cloud-based solutioning, right? And since they're already spending much on retail stores, paying the rental, electricity bill, all those kind of stuff, if they will go and opt for a cloud store, okay, cloud-based solution wherein they can store their data, they need to buy some subscription. Again, one more costing will be added, and to maintain this cloud-based solution, they need to hire engineers as well, or data scientists as well, or solution architects, or let's say a product person as well here. Okay, and again they need to pay them the salaries. And let me tell you, this is one of the highest paid job right now in the market, and it will be. And it's a very open-ended position. Cloud. There are a lot of data engineers who work on big data. There are data scientists who work on cloud, and also solution architect, technical architect, and product managers, product owners basically of cloud-based solutions. Okay, and they actually they need to pay a lot. So let's say they don't want to mess up their financials or something of that sort. So they reach out to this company and, hey, why don't you host our data and provide all this solutioning to us, right? Walgreen will ask XYZ company that we want to store our data because now we have too much data, and we would require it to run some kind of promotion or run some kind of CRM, customer relationship management, but we don't have any place to store it. But we can for sure buy some subscription, maybe from Oracle or AWS or Microsoft Azure. But again, to maintain that, we would require to hire then engineers, data scientists, cloud architect, solution architect, and again our budget will go for a toss. Okay, so either they will reach out to them or they will reach out to them. Okay, hey, we heard that you are facing a problem, so why don't we initiate some kind of meetings? So a representative from Walgreen, okay, person, okay, let's say who is a technical program manager, PM, okay, and from Walgreen there would be a salesperson. Sorry, from XYZ company there would be a salesperson. Okay, now I'll tell you the relevant of sales as well. We will think that sales is out of fashion, but here sales is very important. Salesperson. Okay. Till here I am clear. Like, am I making some sense here? Any doubt here? What does Allgreen do? What does the XYZ company do? Okay. So now this person will initiate meeting with this technical team, or he or she could be anything. Let's say this could be their head as well. Let's say CTO or customer technical officer, or maybe customer CEO as well. Okay, this person will schedule meeting with them. He will explain first. He will try to find out what you are looking for. They will say, "Hey, right now we have a huge number of data, and which keep on increasing on monthly basis, but we don't have a place to store it. So whatever customers or data which we had for last year, that will be thrown in trash can. Okay, because we don't have a place to store it. The system or PO system which they have in store only captures 1 week's data or 1 month's data, or maximum, let's say, 5 months data. But we do really require to store each and every data, like historically, how much promotions we have run, or how did it perform, how much discounts we have given to our each customer, and something of that sort. Okay, so they will ask this person, or maybe whoever is in the boardroom will ask the salesperson what to bring to the table. So what he will do, he will first create a PPT, like what does this XYZ company do, and he will propose a solution that, hey, what we can do, we can store all your data in our cloud, right? And they will say, okay, that's fine, but you know what else you're bringing to the table? They will say, apart from that, we will also have engineers. Let's say if you want to, have some kind of quick solutioning around that, what happened last month, what happened this week. So we will have some folks who will start providing you insights as well. So like database management, like they will tell you, okay, maybe let's say there are some nuances, so they will keep on telling you every weekly or monthly that something wrong with your store, something of that sort. Okay, and apart from that, we can also do consulting in the sense, although you are a very big company, you will have your own business owners who understands the market very well, but as a data company, as an AIML company, we can bring some of our expertise who can guide you that what products, let's say, are doing better, or which customers, or which set of customers are about to churn. Maybe you can run a promotion for them, or what is, I would say, doing best for you, something of that sort. And apart from that, we also provide solutioning around AIML. Okay, AIML. So basically, wherein we will give you some kind of chatbot wherein you can just simply raising a mail or reaching out to anyone, you can just simply type in, give me last week sales at product level. So it will give you the data. Okay, it will give you the data, right? It will give you the data. Then this is only one example. Could be like some other examples could be, give me top 100 customers for let's say pharmacy last week need to run a promotion for them. This can also be achieved. Okay, and AIML, basically AI is subset of ML. So let's say if a client is typing in this thing, because we as a data science team has trained our model that whenever client prompts something like this, please give him or her the data like this. So this is a subset of this one. This is how what will be proposed through this salesperson. Like he'll not go in much in technical details, but he will explain. So they'd say, hey, it sounds very interesting. We are looking forward to work with XYZ company. Okay. So what will happen? Now they will confirm, okay, this is what we want to do. Now from their side, this is, I would say, step one. Now step two would be Walgreens technical PM and XYZ technical PM will start initiating meetings. Okay. Now we have all the requirements. So what XYZ company's technical PM will do, he will first start creating BRD, right? Now the step starts, BRD, right? Now, first point would be very generic. Walgreens, what does it do? Generic. Second, XYZ, why we are the best in the market. Okay. Third one, scope, right? Scope and out of scope. So this person had discussion with their CTO or CEO. They told, okay, we will be requiring these solutioning from your end. So in scope, I will put all these things that, for example, let's say A point, migrating their last 2 years data, right? Okay. So migrating their last 2 years data, and this is very overview level of vision. Point B, out of scope. Let's say, let me put out of scope. Out of scope data, not more than 2 years. Okay, and there could be many things, right? Okay, now this is done. Now this technical PM of XYZ again will have a discussion with Walgreens technical PM, and they will find out, okay, what kind of data you have. So they will say that, okay, we have member data. So you guys could correlate, right? Let's say, let's say you go to, let's say, any store. Okay, so what kind of data you are indirectly giving it to them? For sure, your phone number, sometimes your mail ID. Okay, and let's say if you become a premium member or a subscribed member, they could have your date of birth as well, email ID as well, right? I'm just talking from a user's point of view. Okay, now from transaction point of view, what else you could have? For example, day level sales. Like, let's say you visited on Sunday, you did a purchase of 100 rupees. Okay. Second day, you did a purchase of day 1. Day 2, let's say 150 rupees. Just quoting random examples. So you will have sales data as well, and also product. What kind of product you purchased while you visited the particular store, and something of that sort. Okay, so all this data, and let's say, okay, let me give you only one example. So let's say you bought, let's say, toothpaste, right? Toothpaste, then soap, veggies, or some cold drinks, and etc. etc. Let's say at that time when you made a purchase, they were running a promotion, something like shop for yeah, I mean, let me say in this way, 15% or 10% off on bill greater than 500 rupees, right? Let's say during that time period, this was their promotion. So let's say all these cumulative becomes something around 490. Okay, 490 subtotal. And the cashier person near the store will tell you, ma'am or sir, we are running this promotion. So, and your cumulative bill amount is 490. So if you'll just shop for 10 more rupees, then you can avail this offer. We will say, okay, give me some chocolates, 10 rupees chocolates. Okay. So let's say it become 500. Oh, it is 500, right? Let's say it become 501. So your final bill amount would be how much? 10% discount is there. So it will be 90%, 450, right? So we'll also have these details as well. Like, a particular customer, have they availed any kind of promotion in past or something? Someone will say, "Arey, nahi chahiye bhai. ठीक है, it's okay, whatever we have." Okay, okay. But now they will say, okay, now, sir, you have availed this 10% promotion. Would you like to get these notifications on regular basis? So person will say, hey, yes, I would want to have this kind of notifications, push notifications. Okay. So they will say, okay, so they will get your phone number and they will make you a member. Okay. So every time they will run this promotion, you'll get a notification. So in prior, you would know, okay, if I'll shop for 500, 10% discount will be given on a total bill. So this kind of details we will have from Walgreens. Okay. So out of scope, I have mentioned whatever is required, like what kind of data they want us to store, that will also mention. And this is there. So this is a very uber level view, like what we are going to put in our BRD. Okay. Once we create the BRD, and from, let's say, AIML point of view, that also we will mention. It is step 2. Here itself. Let's say AIML point of view. There will be a section of AIML wherein they will say we will a chatbot or generative intelligence. Okay. This is what it is. Okay. So now once this BRD is prepared, this PM of RPM first review with internal team members. For example, this PM will come to my team or a team who is responsible for doing the data engineering job, like who will migrate the data into our system. So we will tell this PM that this is possible, we can do it. So first he will take a sign up from our side, and this PM will ask, the client has asked us that can we go live, or we want you to go live, or we want to make you migrate all the data within 6 months time period. Let's say 6 months. Then the team will do calculation that on an average, on daily basis, we can import 10 million records into our database. And they have in total, let's say, XYZ number of records. And by dividing it by the number of days or any, let's say, capabilities we need to increase, I see that this can be done within 6 months. So I will say, yes, this is possible. And again, something like this, they will also ask that client has requested, they want some this kind of modeling or this kind of analysis from our end, our company's end. So is it possible? I'll say, yes, it is possible. So this sign off is done. Okay. And not only me, there is a person also involved who is solution architect. So see, this we are doing it manually, like not manually. Basically, we are creating a pipeline, code data engineering job. But once it goes live, so we'll not be importing their data and ingesting data every day, right? So solution architect, what will do? He will create APIs, which will call data from their website. Okay, on everyday basis. So this person also need to align with, okay, this is possible or not. That are we able to create a sample data from their website or something of that sort. So he also needs to confirm that, okay, yeah, this is possible. So once internal approval is done, data science team or solution architect or technical team, then this PM will go to Walgreen back and say, yeah, this is everything is possible. We have given the timeline. Please let us know if you want to do, if you want us to do any kind of changes here. Okay. So again, this person, Walgreens technical PM, will go through the BRD, and if the person thinks that their expectations are not being met, then he will call that out. Otherwise, he will say, yeah, we are perfect from our end, and then this BRD will be signed off. Like, is it clear till here? Any questions till here?
Ankush, I have two questions.
Okay.
The first one is like, if we are into the analytics team, so we
Okay.
don't deal at all with BRD thing, right? I mean, creation of
Yeah.
BRD.
But basically, you will not create BRD, but you should know how the BRD operates. See, again, it depends on client to client. If you're working in a product-based company, there'll not be BRD. But if you're working for a client, then for sure BRD has to be there.
Okay. And then if we are in the analytics team, so we discuss with the data scientist and the data engineer. I mean, all these things.
See, again, we are going back to the same discussion. What I'm trying to say is that analytics, data science, or data engineer, everything is same here. Let's say you lead an analytics team, right? And under you, there are some data engineers who report to you. So, but as a project, you are the face. In this project, you are the face. So your approval is required here, not a particular person. You are representing a team here. It could be analytics, or they will say, see, AI, ML, analytics, everything is same. So they will say some kind of analysis. But when you see the data which they are going to provide, with that given data, this is not possible. So you are bringing your brains right here. That hey, I have gone through the BRD and the columns which I see. With the help of those, our team or myself won't be able to execute this. You will say why the PM will ask you, why do you say so? So you will say, because these are the things not available in this one. So again, this PM will go back to Walgreens technical PM, that to work around this analysis, we require this kind of columns as well, and which is not part of BRD currently. So Walgreens PL will say, oh yeah, it's a miss from our end, sorry, or maybe thanks for pointing it out. And again, those will be added. So it's a collaborative effort. Data engineers, analytics, data science. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And second question?
That was my second question. And do companies also hire? I mean, if a company hires a business analytics person, okay, and the companies also expect us to create BRD if we are in the analytics team.
No, not in general. They will see, sometimes you need to create docs, but that will not be, that is something like, what you're going to do. That's all. Explanation. Right.
Okay.
So some people call it BRD. It's a very, I would say, a bigger umbrella. BRD could mean something else also. Let's say you are working in a company, let's say, and there is I would say, important season is coming. So as a part of an analytics team, they will ask you, do you have any solutioning around it? You will say, yeah, this is what it is. So you will just write step 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe create a PPT. That's all. You'll explain, this is how the number is trending, that is the number trending, this is our solution, this is what we are proposing right now. So there will be to and fro meetings happening. So when right now we are only talking about BRD, like which is this BRD. This is wherein you won't find it, I would say, available everywhere. This is a very, I would say, very a niche category. So it happens at very large level. Okay, so when you work in a startup, so for sure you will get exposure to this. But when you work for a very bigger company, then this would be happening, but maybe at a very large or top hierarchy level, like who are CTOs, CEOs, or VPs, directors.
Okay. Yeah, because I have given an interview for a company last month. So I mean, I was interviewing for business analyst position only. So I mean, they asked me that. They told me that they are not going to pay me, and but they'll teach me how to create BRD and all.
So why you want to waste your time? Just go to any LLM, Perplexity or ChatGPT. You can just give a prompt that just tell me what are the things involved in BRD. That's all. It's not a rocket science.
Yeah,
It's a very,
that was. That is, I want to figure out that should we invest our
No,
time
no,
in
no,
such companies? And yeah.
no, you should not invest time. Even I would say in BRD, you guys asked me that step to step process in a BRD. That's why I'm covering this up. But to be very frank, don't waste much time in learning about BRD.
Okay.
You should focus more on these kind of things, like which I was explaining here, uh, or maybe number of record, data engineering skills, schema, pipeline, those kind of stuff. Okay. Anyways, anything else or any more detail you want from this BRD? I hope that it would have made some sense to you all, that we know what a typical BRD looks like and how it is worked upon. Guys, anything?
Ankush, I wanted to ask what kind of quantities can we put, like metrics and all, in this BRD in
Sorry.
general also? Like what
Also?
kind of metrics we can put in BRD? Like last week there was this class about BRD only, like based on BRD, and he was discussing some metrics. It was very confusing, so I didn't get it. Like
Okay. So,
it was related to some laptop session. Yeah.
sorry. Yeah, I got a question.
Yeah.
No, I got a question. So, see, okay, what I will tell you, okay, there is no hard and fast rule, right? There is no hard and fast rule. So the BRD which I was talking about, this is a very generic BRD, wherein which is widely used everywhere. This BRD, the BRD which he was talking about, it in general what happens? Okay, okay, there are two type of folks. Okay, this might sound a little funny. One comes from MBA background, and one is a person who has, I would say, learned everything from scratch. So this person want to document everything. Let's say, let me talk about Flipkart, right? Flipkart itself, because I think Sahib will also try to cover his experience, so you guys can correlate. Okay, so let me talk about Flipkart. Let's say we are BBD, right? BBD. I hope that you all know what BBD is, Big Billion Days, right? So let's say in Big Billion Day, our target is that per day we will do 400 CR, 4000 CR per day, day level pay. Day level pay. Okay. So as an analytics guy, they will ask me that, hey Ankush, like this is our target per day. Then what are the matrices you think that we should track for this festive, and only these matrices. So and so that our I would say हमारा ध्यान कहीं और पे नहीं जाए. Okay, wherein our focus should only be on these matrices, not anywhere else. So I will tell them, okay, the first thing could be pricing. Like this is my maths behind it. Price, PPV. PPV is basically page per views. Okay. Impressions. Impression is basically visits. Indirectly, visits. That's all. Okay. Okay. So when I say price, it can be further translated to discount. Because I have, let's say, n number of columns here. Okay. But out of those columns, this is my modeling. I suggested my hierarchy or my directors that we only need to, work on this price, PPV, and impression. Because what I feel, when a customer visit our website during festive, like DBD, and if we have that product available right now, what he is or she is looking for, and if we have the right price at that time, the person will buy it. Will not go to Amazon or any other website, right? So that's my criteria. Okay, and I will tell them this could be my important matrices. So on daily basis, I will track this. What this person will do, he will first create a story, right? That okay, I have let's say active users. I have average selling price. I have YOY growth. I have month on month growth. Then we have in stock and XYZ, right? So he will create a chart. He will explain, okay, this is how we are trending. This is what we should track. But at last, everyone will come to this only, these three matrices, because this comes with practice. Because I have very much given my time into data and all those stuff. So without wasting my time further here, I can simply tell based on the scenarios and or the kind of marketing campaigns or the kind of promotion we are running, what are the matrices we should look at. Okay, this is my intuition. This has come with the experience. This is how I will design. This person, what he will design, he will create n number of trackers. Then after that, he will propose, okay, Ankush is right. We should track this. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing right. But people like me, they call it unorganized, and these people are called organized. To be very frank, because sometimes see what happens with me, that I sometimes think that the person which I'm explaining to also understands this, but this person also tries to explain in a language wherein a non-technical person could also understand. But that I don't do it, because my job is not to make people understand. My job is to do some kind of complex problem solutioning. Then it's his job that he will take my analysis or and explain it to further audience, maybe finance team. Let's say I come around with a discount of, let's say, on an average daily, we should give 15% discount. And to arrive at 15% discount, we should ideally burn 10 CR per day. So this 10% CR per day, I have given him my maths calculation, everything. What this person will do, he will take my analysis, he will go and explain to the business finance team and maybe other folks who are from non-technical background or non-analytics background, and he will explain that, okay, this is our proposal this is what Ankush has calculated. So it depends on role to role, right? This I also can do it, but I really don't like it, like explaining much about it, that why 10 CR, why this one, because everything is being shown up here, right? Okay, so my job is to explain to my director. Once my director is convinced, then it's his job to explain to other folks, because there would be some directors who are not from analytics or technical background. So this person has to, it's his job or her job to explain it to his or her peers. That's how it is. I hope I answered your question.
Yes, Ankush, got it.
Got it, right. So there is no fixed hard and fast rule about this, that this is how we should approach. And see why I'm telling you this thing always, that so that you guys should not focus much on this ki matrices kaise banana hai, kya banana hai. Your brain should function more toward this one, ki how to arrive at this particular metric. That's all. It could be a very rough work. Okay. So when you appear for any exam right now, everything is MCQ, right? So nobody checks your rough paper. It's all, whatever matters is your result. That's all. Nobody checks, okay, कि तुमने rough paper कितना calculation किया नहीं किया, cheating कर लो जो कर लो. But all it matters is your result. That's all. Okay. So maybe now we have how many? Okay, I think we have a lot of time. Okay, now we'll not cover anything about BRD. Let's start working on case studies, right?